Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode, episode 7. It's hard to believe that since April we're at where we're at. So if you guys have noticed, with the exception of a few of the throwback hunts that we've shown, everything we're filming is from this year. So we're hoping you guys are enjoying it. Obviously we're in the summer now. Temperatures are mid 80s to 90s every day here in PA, and I know we've been trying to get out and fish and obviously get ready for the season, shooting bows. So this week, sticking with meeting the team, you're going to get to meet next my brother-in-law, Keith Hayden. So it's always nice when, it's local, their family, to share what you love to do outside. So I've known Keith a very long time, even before he and my sister were married. And it's good that now we both share the same passion and drive for the outdoors. So check out Keith. You're going to find out all about him. And stay tuned. We'll see you in a bit.
Hey guys, this is Keith Hayden from Rack and Rod Chronicles, and today we're going to talk about me a little bit. You guys are going to get to learn about what makes me tick, why I love the outdoors, and kind of why I started to do this TV show. So to start off, I'm 34 years old. I live in northeastern Pennsylvania. Lived here my whole life. Not planning on moving. So this is where I'm at. I'm married to Renee. She's an avid fisherman and hunter herself. Also likes to cook a lot, so you'll definitely see her on some of the episodes with those activities. She also runs the camera a little bit too. She says she likes it, so I hope she does. As you know from the first episode, and I just talked about, Greg is my brother-in-law. We've known each other for about 15 years now. We met each other at Gander Mountain. We worked in the firearms department, and throughout the years we've done a bunch of hunting and fishing together. And when he came up with this idea, I was all for it. So I jumped on board, and here we are. So if you want to talk about the beginning, where this all started from, it would start with my dad. As soon as I was big enough to walk and follow him around through the woods and not get lost, I'd be out there with him. Mostly small game hunting, that's where we started. We'd always be out rabbit hunting, pheasant hunting, grouse hunting, also some duck hunting too. That was what I basically cut my teeth on hunting with, would be with those. Once I got a little bit older and I could sit still a little bit more, then he started taking me deer hunting a little bit. And then I started hunting on my own. Once I hit 12 years old is when you could start hunting in Pennsylvania at that point. Now it's a little younger. They had the mentor programs and that, which would have been great back then because I could have got into it even quicker. So that's where it started, and that's probably why my passion for upland hunting and small game hunting really started, because that's what I cut my teeth on. So it was that's the start right there. When it comes to fishing, I would say my grandfather's where I got my passion for fishing, would be because he hunted, but he wasn't hunting, was just something to do. But fishing, he really loved to do fishing. So we would go out all summer long when it was off. As soon as summer break came, I was over there every weekend. Stayed the weekend for him. We'd get up early, go out in a boat, and we'd fish all day, get lots of sunburn. You know how it goes. We pretty much fish for anything. We started off in the early spring with trout season. Then we moved into bass and panfish and that. Pretty much whatever was good in the frying pan is what we went fishing for. We didn't really have a target species. So that's where I really got my passion for fishing from, was there. Like I said, if I had to pick a favorite activity, I would say upland bird hunting would probably be it. When I started college, we got our first hunting dog. We had an English setter from DeCoverly Kennels in Pennsylvania here. And as soon as we got him, I loved it. I would every day after college, as soon as I could shoot home, grab the dog and the gun, and I'd be out to the state park to shoot some birds. And I would stack them up for the year. I'd be done in an hour and a half. You could only shoot 2 in Pennsylvania here, so it wouldn't take too long. But I put a pretty good hurting on them for a couple of years in college. And that's really where I got my passion. I've been a pretty solid, avid bird hunter with a dog ever since then. I now have my own English setter from DeCoverly Kennels, Cooper, which you saw in the first episode. He was driving the tractor, which he loves riding. Anything that's got wheels on, he loves. He loves that almost as much as he loves bird hunting. So if I had to pick my number one activity, it would be upland bird hunting. Close second would be deer hunting. Mostly with the rifle is where I started. Up until the last couple years, I got my first bow and I started doing some bow hunting with my good friend Jared, which we've also done some other hunting. We've gone out west on a elk and mule deer hunt a few years ago, and I usually go out to his hunting camp out in the western part of the state every year a few times. So the bow hunting is new to me, but I do like it. It's becoming addicting, as they say. Something I can do a lot, I can do it just for a few minutes, run out, don't have to worry about setting up all my targets and that. I've got my little target stand set up in the back and I can just go shoot a dozen arrows, be done in 5-10 minutes and then come back in. I got held up a little bit last year. I broke my shoulder, so that kind of tapered off my season a little bit, but shoulder's doing good this year, so we're looking to get after it this year and hopefully get my first buck kill with the bow. I said I have shot one doe with the bow. That's it. So I'm looking forward to shooting a nice buck this year with the bow. It'd be kind of cool to have that close encounters you kind of get with the bow. I'm used to shooting with the rifle where you're shooting at farther distances and you don't have to be quite as stealthy here in Pennsylvania because the deer are usually pretty jazzed up when it's rifle season. All right, guys. So as well as being a hunter and a fisherman, I'm also like to do a lot of shooting. I like to do rifle shooting. I'm a hand loader, so I like to work on my loads and get as most accurate loads I can, get my guns to shoot really good. If I can't get a gun to shoot under an inch, I'm not really happy. I'm trying to get sub ½ inch down to a 1/4 inch. That's just my thing. My dad's always been a hand loader, and it's kind of like what I grew up doing when I was little, helping him reload. So I like to do that. I'm a claybird shooter. I like to go do sporting clay shooting. Also a little skeet shooting too, but mostly sporting clays now. I like that. It really gets you prepped for the upland bird hunting and that. So that's my big shooting sports that I like to do. I also like to go hiking and camping with my wife and the dog Cooper. So we do a lot of that in the summertime. And kind of like my whole year kind of plans out. Start off with hunting in early spring, then it goes to fishing, camping, shooting in the summertime, then starts back in upland bird hunting into the big game deer hunting. So I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into what makes me tick, and hopefully we'll get to see lots of me and see how this whole adventure goes with the TV show. Hopefully this year I'll change my luck and I won't be a bust when I'm going on the Pike County, Illinois hunt for deer. So it was a pleasure talking to you guys, and I hope you follow along with us in this journey and have a good time.
So guys, in the last episode you guys got to meet team member Bethany Barlow based out of Payne, Kansas. And Bethany is sometimes, I think, a little crazier than all of us. She does a lot of hunting and fishing. And she had the chance to go with a family friend down to Texas on a free-range axis hunt. And after talking with Bethany, when we brought her on the team, she had always said, shooting a free-range axis was on her bucket list. So not only did Bethany shoot an axis buck, she also shot an axis doe. And when she dropped the axis buck, about 20 seconds later, while they were kind of, waiting to go up and get it, wild hog came out right next to this buck, and she drops the hog. Now here's where being a TV show and being everyday real people comes into 100% play. So Bethany's family friend was the one filming the hunt and was not familiar with the camera. So we do have a shot off of her verb shooting the axis doe. Unfortunately, the video for the buck didn't come through. We're not sure if the record button wasn't on. There was just some complications with the camera. And again, we do not have professional camera crews running our equipment for us. We are filming this 100% ourselves. So this is what can happen. Things go awry, something doesn't go exactly as planned. Perfect example of this, but congratulations to Bethany on a job well done in Texas. So check out the footage and some of the pictures from her hunt down there of her buck, doe, and hog. We'll see you in a bit.
I didn't get a good video of that. That's okay. Yes. It's awesome. My trick is complete right now. I'm pretty positive I dropped him right there. Hang on, get the same video for a second. Alright guys, we just dropped him. Oh, my life is made. Oh man. I was shaking a little.
Just a little, right?
Yeah, only a little. Oh, dropped him. Oh,
Set for good animal eyes.
Ooh, yeah.
Alright guys, so we hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of footage down in Texas. And now we're going to go straight up north and head up to Michigan to Pat and Amber Casey. They've been pretty busy between work and fishing and getting bows tuned in. So check out these next few clips. They did a little fishing out of a drift boat with a good friend of ours, Kaz, and did a little backyard bow shooting and did some bluegill and some bass pond fishing out of their canoe near home. So it's always nice when we get that footage quick, and it's funny because Pat and I actually have to ship memory cards back and forth to each other because a lot of these videos, when they come in, they're a little too big, and when I'm putting them in the editing software, so we've actually gotten it down to a science where we swap memory cards about every 2 weeks. And so check out this footage, guys. Amber and Pat are just awesome. they love to be outside. So hope you enjoy these clips, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Down there and see if anybody starts rising.
Figure we'll let Amber catch the first one. I can get it on video.
That's probably a good idea.
You watch me miss the first one.
I got 58.2. Yesterday it was chilly. Went down to like 53. But I think that was mostly the rain.
It's kind of nice being back here. I can see everything.
It is a nice vantage point.
Did you just put him back there because he's heavier?
No, I don't want to say the person in the front usually does catch the first fish, but the person in the front should, because you've got the advantage of sight in first.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to see stuff coming. You're going to make a cast across here. I'm going to back up so these guys can get in the river and get out of their way. And I'll set up some rods for you guys. Hey! Alright, slowly bring them back to the left side. Right side's fine. Other side. Rookie, dude. Seriously, that's a nice fish. Rod tip up towards me. Drop, drop. Dude, I hate to say it, but you got a nice rookie.
I don't think it beats my PB, personal best, but
No, but for this river,
heck yeah. Oh, I hooked him.
he's out. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna let him revive and get the
Yep.
hook out of the net. I'm gonna get a shot. Drop him. Good job. That's seriously a nice fish.
Skunk is off.
Yeah.
Look
You
how
take
gorgeous
pictures,
this
Pat?
color it is.
Here.
We've had a lot of follows. We've had some action, so it's not like there's no interest. You're gonna want to get one straight down that chute. There you go.
Just ripping lips.
Beautiful evening on the water.
It's a little bit nicer.
I should be doing pictures.
All right, guys. So this past weekend, we're currently June 24th. So would have been the 20th, I believe, 19th, 20th. Keith and I got the chance to go out and do some bow fishing. And if you have ever bow fished, you'll understand my pain. But we had put up a post on Facebook asking if we knew any of our local friends that had a bow fishing setup. In other words, a boat that was already set up with a deck and lights and whatnot. And actually, Scott out at B&D Outfitters in Pike County, Illinois, which is where Keith and I are actually going. Keith, Amber, and I are going hunting in October. Reached out and said, "Hey, you got to hit up a buddy of mine." And I'm thinking, I said local. And he, Scott, so you'll understand once we get out there in October, Scott actually grew up here in Pennsylvania. And he said, "You got to reach out to my buddy Jacob. Jacob is awesome. He's got the boat. He knows where the fish are." So we reached out to him, and Jacob, thank you again so much. Keith and I had a phenomenal time. But as you'll see in the footage, I really practice with my bow when it comes to, shooting and getting ready for hunting season. And Jacob said something to me before we even got on the water, and he said, "Do you shoot a lot?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "You're going to suck at this for a while." And I didn't quite understand what he was talking about. And after about the first 100 shots, I figured it out. But Keith and I probably shot around 600 times that night. We were on the water for about 5.5 hours, and we put 10 fish in the boat. 9 of them were Keith's, and 1 was mine. But Keith picked up the aiming really quick, and he actually drilled a couple fish at a couple distance shots. But I finally put one 35-pound carp in the boat, so I was happy. But I mean, just to be out, and I mean, my arms were sore from shooting so much. So I am not complaining about missing. It was one of the best times I've ever had on a boat. Excuse me. So check this out. We're fishing, bow fishing with a friend of ours, Jacob, out on the Susquehanna River here in Pennsylvania. We were going after carp, suckers, quillback, and catfish. We unfortunately didn't put a catfish in the boat, but check out this footage, guys. It's awesome. And Jacob, thank you again. We're hoping to go out with you soon. And stay tuned for next week's episode, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I like that answer. Alright guys, we're out on the Susquehanna. Got Scott Bean, who is the guy in charge at B&D Outfitters that we're hunting with out in Illinois this fall. I happened to put a post up that we were looking for somebody that had a setup for bow fishing, and Scott reached out and said, "You got to call my buddy." So Scott got me in touch with him, and here we are. Got a little bit of rain today, so the water's not as clear as we would hope it to be, but the lights that are on this boat, you can see the kind of light we're getting here. We've got some awesome under-rail lights. You got Keith way in the back, and that's Jacob. So we're gonna have a good night here, hopefully, and put a couple fish in the boat. Keith and I, neither of us have ever actually bow fished. I've shot targets with a bow fishing bow, but that's about as far as I've ever gotten with it. So we're looking forward to tonight, so stay tuned. We're gonna have the GoPro running, and I'm sure it'll be a hilarious episode at best, with Keith and I shooting out of the front of this thing. So
Lots of mayflies.
So Keith literally puts the bow in his hand for like 10 minutes and just shot a sweet ass carp. Jacob just gaffed him and got him in the boat.
Nice.
That's awesome. There he is. Nice shooting, Keith. Jacob, that was awesome. Jacob spotted him, told Keith right where he was at. He was like, hold on, I'm gonna get close.
You put it right there.
Keith nailed him. So Keith brings in another one. He's a bow fishing maniac.
Roll back.
That's Keith's third. I'm fishless still. Guys, Jacob has put us on some fish, man, and I still can't, I'm not getting the hang of this yet. I'm aiming low, but not low enough. But Keith's pulling up the back of the boat here behind Jacob, and I don't know if it's beginner's luck or what, but man, he hit that carp dead square in the belly, and then he shot, was that a quillback that he shot? The second one?
A sucker.
A sucker. And I'm telling you, fish was yay big and he nailed it. So, but just how can you not beat 11 o'clock at night, being on the river and taking 100 shots with a bow and missing everything you aimed at?
Something. Yeah, you're good to shoot that. Damn it. Flash, we're gonna hit, probably.
What's that?
I thought we were gonna hit there. I was just saying to watch.
There was
There's a
an
big
arrow.
carp. Big carp.
Big one right up there.
Wait, I'll get close. Wait. Lower, aim lower. Shoot.
There you go. Finally.
There you go. Greg finally broke his streak.
We're definitely gonna hit.